Okay, welcome back to the ongoing saga of I don't know what I'm doing. So, alright, so now that the background tree area, thusly, is done, I guess I need to move forward here in Lake City so I can get things moving along. And one thing I want to do is get this little park area done. And like I said, I think I mentioned in the last video, I have these two cool looking artillery pieces. I'm going to model this on a little prototype thing that was in Shamokin, Pennsylvania. Alright, so what am I going to do? Well, here's what I'm thinking. So the white paper, again, these are the two units. One's from Preiser, which is that one, which is a German piece. And this is an American howitzer from Roco Mini-tanks. Okay, so you can see I still don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm going to bring in, this is going to be concrete. Okay, so this will be a pad. And this is kind of the shape I want. And I have it marked for where the tires are, the center lines, and everything like that. It's all kind of laid out. So that's my template. So I'm going to have that in there. I'm going to reuse this. I like this, the way the grass looks. And I was testing to see if I could scrape it out, because I don't want to rip it all up, because I don't have any more of this. This is a sill floor mat. I think it's called a low lawn or low grass or something. But anyway, I don't have any more. And I'm not going to go out and buy some, because A, this stuff's really expensive, and I think I can make the, oops, I can jiggle the camera. I think I can make this work here fine enough. So out here, I think I might have a fence. This is actually an Atlas hairpin fence. Hey, it's good enough. Actually, it actually isn't that bad. Yeah, it is plastic, but it's not, you know, real large or out of scale or anything like that. So I think if I take it out, spray it with some of the Vallejo hobby paint, probably the Panja gray color, I think it'll look just fine. So that might start here. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to run it along, you know, like this. I'd like to put, like out here, like some poplar trees or something like that. But I don't have any right now, so I don't know. So if I use the Atlas fence, go there, and I might have some street lights out here. And let me go back to the bench, and I'll show you what I'm thinking of doing for the pad, and how I'm going to lay that out and maybe put some lights on that. So let's go zoom over to the bench and see what's going on over there. Alright, so back here at the bench, I have my template, and I laid it out onto this Taskboard, which I got the right, and I'm running out of the stuff, but I got the right height to match up with the grass over there. So I think it'll look pretty good. So I laid it on using the template. I just laid it onto this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a light in the center. And I'm not going to have a tree. I'm going to have a light. And I'm going to use these that actually I think look kind of cool, a little ornate, a little bit cool looking. I'm going to have one right in the center, in between the two artillery pieces, and then one here and one here. Just for, I have three of them, so I might as well use them. So if I put those in, now not the issue, with these are slightly larger than I think they're probably more 00 scale, 4mm as opposed to 3.5mm. It's okay. I think they're going to look okay. And what I may do is, since this stuff's pretty forgiving, because they're about 25 feet tall, which is, I think, a little bit tall for a park light. But anyway, I'm able to reduce it a little bit, because this little bottom part slides off, and I can drill into this, which is pretty forgiving. This is a hex shape, so obviously I don't have a hex bit. So I'll probably just drill a hole and kind of poke it in there and hope that it looks okay when I get everything done and painted. Okay, so I'll have a light in the center, a light here, a light here. In this area here, I'm going to have a flagpole. And what I'm thinking of doing is getting one of the Woodland Scenics just plug Yeah, I think it's part of their Just Plug series of stuff. But it looks like a pretty nice looking flagpole. Well, because the thing that with a flagpole, I was thinking about it, is like you don't want to have the flag sticking straight out. That means the wind's howling. You don't want to have it hanging down, looking like totally flat, like there's no wind. But it looks like, if I understand it, the Woodland Scenics one, you can kind of shape the flag a little bit. So, and in the wind, they're gonna go out, they're gonna kind of fall a little bit. Then I go, well, yeah, well, okay, well, I don't have real wind on my layout, so I mean, I'm long-winded, but I don't have wind over on the layout. So I might try that as a flagpole here. It actually comes with a light to light it, which I think is pretty cool because, of course, according to the U.S. flag code, at night the flag's supposed to be illuminated. So that's pretty neat. So I'll have a flagpole with a light in the center, a light, the two artillery pieces, and then I'll probably have some benches around it. Maybe 1, 2, 3 benches, something like that. That's what I'm thinking of doing. And then this material will be painted look like concrete. I might scribe it, where if they lay it out and break it into a pad or something like that. So that's the plan, to do something. So like I say, I transferred this already from the paper template onto the taskboard. This is easy to cut out. I can just get this cut out, get it painted, get these drilled, and I can see these are the other two lights, and I have the other two base pieces, so I can actually try it and see how that's going to go. Again, I like to build it all right here on the bench, and then just take it over. I'll probably use this as a template to clear out the old mat, because I think I can do that. And that way I don't have to worry about, doing more static grass or getting more, wet water around it. I can just go right, boom, put it right in place. I think it'll work okay. Alright, so with that, let's get this cut out and moved along and see how we can progress this little puppy. Alright, here we are so far. Still kind of just playing around. I did get the fence outside and got it painted up. I decide if I want to come all the way over, and I don't know. In terms of the actual pad, that's pretty good. Things seem to fit fairly nicely. And again, the flagpole that will go out there on the little half moon portion there. So I take the artillery pieces off. And what I had in my box of rocks, I found these little things. I'm not sure I'm going to use them or not. They're like little stone pillars that were originally, I think I bought it off of eBay. It's a fence. It's like a picket fence or something like that. And they were a lot taller. Well, I cut most of them and used the bottom parts as supports for the scratch-built Northeast freight house, and I still kept these because I tend to be a pack rat. I thought, I don't know, maybe they're kind of like nice little stone things they put there in the corners. It's kind of hard to get them sanded nice and flush, but I think if I painted, they're primered a different color. That's why it looks a little weird. I probably would paint them the same color as this. And I have the little bases in for the lights. And I don't know, that's probably telling me not to use them. I keep breaking them, but luckily they stick through and we're okay. So again, if I use these, they'd be in the corners. I kind of like the way it looks. I'm not totally sold on it just yet. And then of course the fence will have to be figured out and put together. And then this thing, you can see I went a little bit aggressive here. I got cut a little bit. It's kind of hard to draw lines on a grass field. Imagine that. And I know I don't have a chalk line or anything to snap a line. But this is the pad, and then those guys fit through. The one there on the right is the one that I keep breaking, but I'm okay. Holes are drilled. This hole, I was worried about it. Right here is the tortoise that runs the gate, and it sits like this. Now there is a space about a ½ inch or so where it mounts off the bottom, so I think I'll be able to get the wires in and very quickly shoot them back. So there's the area cleared out, and now I gotta decide, do I want to use the 4 corner pieces dress it up just a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. All right, more to come as I fool around here. Alrighty, so here we have the concrete pad installed. I need to just glue it down with some wood glue, a tight bond, the yellow stuff. Good strong bond here. So this is in. You can see I have a little bit of remedial work to do around the edges, because again I was a little bit too aggressive with the chisel when I cleared out the lawn. That's all right. And I have the bases in there for the lamps. So that's all ready to go. They're all super glued in and everything, so should be good to go. So now gonna do a little bit of remedial cleanup, trying to get it dressed up around the edges. And I have to get the lights in. And I also need to figure out, since I'm working toward the back here, I want to figure out what I want to do for street lights along here, back here, get all that done. And then probably do a little bit of work also. So that'll finish kind of this area. I have to get the fence and everything. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the gate. But again, I'm trying to work forward so I don't have to be reaching over stuff. And then I will have to do some work over here, because that shed right there is really just kind of a stand-in. But what am I going to do in this area here? Don't know, but I want to do something. Again, not that I can't reach it, I prefer to not be reaching over. I want to try to get everything done back at that level, so that when I add in this board out here, not that it's a huge amount, but it's a little bit harder for me to reach. So want to get that done. There's the fence for around the display area, and then keep moving along here. And then I got track work to do, and I got to figure all that anyway. So all right, we're getting there. Let's see what I can do back here on this little corner to get it moving along. All right, we're back. A little in progress here. So everything's down, and I did the fence. I had to kind of cobble together. Not my finest work, but Atlas doesn't give the greatest way to really customize it, so I just kind of super glued pieces together. I brought it out here closer to the sidewalk because I figured they would, and if I add some trees I could always maybe do it in here, smaller ones most likely. So that's just kind of sitting there right now. My flagpole should be coming in today, hopefully. That'll go there. Everything's ready for the other lights. I did remediate. You can see there at the edge I found some sill floor grass strips that were close enough in color, not exact. You can kind of tell there's a little difference there, but that went in. I filled in a couple spots here and there, and then I had some stuff that kind of looks like a mulch or just a darker earth type color. You can see I kind of filled that in there where I just thought it was just enough just to kind of make it look like it's filled in. And then we will go ahead and, once the flagpole comes, get that installed. I think I know what I'm going to do for lights along here. I did add some signs. I got the stop signs added, because you certainly need those. And they have the new red ones. I added a couple more signs here and there. Oh, there's one over here going down the back hill for the 12-foot high bridge. I added that in over there just for fun. Hopefully the guy doesn't mind that's in his yard, but I don't know if it's spaced properly per the appropriate highway distances and everything, but under the trees there's a little only go right or left, don't go straight. Alright, so we'll come back when we get this pretty much wrapped up and ready to display. Okay, Old Glory is up and the park is nearly done. Now things aren't necessarily secured yet outside of the lights, so I'm still kind of playing around with how I want to situate things, but this is what I'm thinking here. So you can see I got the artillery pieces back in. I got some benches set in there. I got the 3 lights, which I hope isn't overkill now that I look at it, but it'll be a very nice bright park in the evening. And I got some flowers sitting there on the four corners. I don't know if I'm sold on that yet, but I saw them on eBay, and they were not a bad price for 2 packs of, who makes them? Oh, they're from Busch, from Deutschland. And, you know, they look okay. The benches in there are from a gentleman, again, also on eBay, are they from Hungary? They're from Hungary, but they're very nice. They're, you know, they're handmade, perfect HO scale, so they look really good, I think. I did add, oh, there's a fire hydrant over there, just for the fun of it. The other street lights are in over here. These 2 are in right now. I'm going to put one more here and a gooseneck one here. Then that finishes that side. You know, I'm trying to get that side, the wrong side of the tracks, done so I can move forward and work over here. I think the fence looks okay. That's just sitting there right now. I have another no trespassing sign that, since I'm working right now, it's down in the hole. But I'll glue that in at the appropriate level. Although actually, you know what, the reason it's so low, there's been a rash of babies. That's right, little freaking 18, 24-month-old little rugrats coming down to the station, crawling around, and they're like, hey, Joachim, let's go crawl onto the railroad tracks. So the railroad guys got upset, and they put that right in their face. So when they come crawling across the platform or the parking lot, it's like, hey, you babies, stop with the trespassing. So, all right, so that'll go up at the right level, and then well, we're pretty much done. I like it. So I got to decide if I want to, you know, actually secure in the benches. I think they're artillery pieces. I'll just set them there. That way they can always be moved, and I don't, again, I'm not going to get any hurricane force winds down here. And if I do, the security of the howitzer is not my biggest problem. All right, not too bad. I kind of like the way that's shaping up. And again, you won't be right on top of it. You'll actually be back here in the aisle. So, all right. So let me finalize this. Oh, I got to wire the damn things underneath, but try to get that done so we can see it all lit up. I don't have a light yet on the flag, which I know I should. I'm not trying to be unpatriotic, un-American, or anything like that. I'm not trying to violate the U.S. flag code, but I just don't know if I have a... And part of the issue is, in all honesty, right under here, I mean literally right under here, is the tortoise to drive this gate. And I really don't want to move it, because it's set up, and it works okay, but I don't know I can drill another hole. This one is actually coming down. The wires from this light are actually right on top of the tortoise. But there's enough room, like I said, there's like a ½ inch there or so. I can sneak the leads out. But here, it's like right into all the mount stuff. I just don't know if I can pull it off, but we'll see. I know there should be a light there if the flag's going to be hung at night. I believe after dusk. I'm not chapter verse up on the U.S. flag code, I won't lie to you, but I could always look it up. But I'm almost sure if you fly a flag in the dark, you should have a light on it. Or I could just say that the local vets come in every afternoon and they have a retreat ceremony and they take the flag down, they fold it, and they come out at Reveille the next morning and they put it up. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, enough babbling. See how I can go off on tangents like that? Alright, let me do a little bit more securement here and decide how to wrap this up. Okay, here we go. All the lights are actually working. I amazed myself. So they're all done. Couple notes. These three were an absolute pain in the you-know-what to install. Ugh. The little wires, tiny little wires, the leads aren't real long. I couldn't really drill a bigger hole to put them in and add some extension to the wires. Well, maybe I could have, but I didn't. Now, I did come up with some small adapter boards that I made up for underneath there, but even with it, it still was just annoying, and most of it, well, a lot of it was because of the darn tortoise that's sitting right underneath there. So I have an issue with this light. It's a little touchy. It's one of those Walthers, an older Walthers one, where it's got the little base. They have a manhole cover where you can stick the light into it. Yeah, well, if it gets loose, it doesn't light real well, so I have it kind of in there right now, but whatever. But everything else seems to work pretty good. So what I'll try to do is just pop the lights off just for fun, because they're now all controlled. Okay, I'm going to turn off the room lights just for fun. These lights are now all controlled with a switch on the fascia. And then when I was under there mucking around, I added that to the switch and that light to the switch. So, alright, let me turn the lights off and see if this shows up. It's going to be hard to see, but just for fun. Okay, so just like I said, just for fun, I got the f-stop at 2.8 and the ISO cranked to 1600. So this may be grainy, but kind of gives you an idea what it looks like. The 4 gas lights that are in so far. The lights in the house over there. Of course, the street lights in the back there. And then the station lights and platform lights. So that's it. So then, of course, because of the CMRI, you got those funky displays. I don't know what the... That's a red, yellow, green, all illuminated at once. I'm not sure what the engineer is supposed to do. Anyway, so now I need to get some of the details in. Things like the other flower arrangements here on the platform. I got some switch stands and switch motors to get put in, and then let's just go back to the light. Come to the light one more time just before I wrap this up. Alright, back to a little bit more normal ISO and whatnot. So the lights are still on, but just for fun. So now I'm going to say I'm pretty much done. I mean, I might need to add a vehicle here and there, maybe some people walking, and I do want to add a couple gentlemen sitting at the but that can all be done, sitting at the benches there. I did. I know certain individuals have been bothering me all the time. There's a privy. I actually added a privy. Outhouse. It's a nice one. It's a GC laser kit. It was really annoying to build, but builds to a nice kit. So I figured, okay, so that's down there. And then what I'm going to do is, of course, I got a Scenic this back here. I'm not sure yet what I want to do here. I don't think I'm going to put a lot there. Maybe a railroad shed, or maybe just access, up to the signal, and the rest just some scenery. And then I'm going to add some trees and whatnot. So that's pretty much done. And I can repopulate this with the REA packages, add the benches back, maybe some people on the platform. Like I said, now I can start working forward. And the next big thing is to get this stuff here done. So that is it. That is our little park. Start our street lights and some other details on the back side. And away we go, moving forward with the front side. So, alright, more to come as we progress forward, and probably see that in the next update. Okay, a little bit of a bonus round here. 1 or 2 more segments, gotta keep fiddling. So what I decided to do is get this area done. And I'll just kind of show you what I'm doing here, so you can see it's in progress here. So we have the privy. I figured, alright, they're going to come down here, access back to the signal, to the relay boxes and whatnot. I added some of the New York Central. I took out the one I had there, added some of the New York Central ones, added a phone box there on the left. Alright, that's cool. And then I figured, okay, kind of keep it simple. We'll have this little shed here. Now that's from Shorty Parker's layout. And actually you can tell what I did. It was painted in Pensy colors, but now don't tell the Pensy guys. I painted it in more New York Central colors. I know that's dogs and cats living together, but I figured it kind of matched into the area a little bit better. Now it's painted, sort of like the station. Well, same colors as the station. Add a little pad in front, a little concrete pad, weathered it up. Now what I'm going to do is the area that's still open will all be gravel. Gravel, dirt, dirt, earth, that kind of stuff. little path sneaking over here where guys maybe walk over to access the turnout and whatnot. Then I have a tree that I'm going to put in. Oh, not the child, the tree. The child's holding my coffee. That tree is going to go right in here. Looks pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to get all this done, pop the tree in, the holes drilled for it already, and then, you know, add some details, some barrels, maybe some pieces of rail, and various railroad accoutrements. And then I get that little area done. So again, the thought process is work from the back to the front. So I can get do that, and then we're pretty much ready to wrap the video up, I promise. Maybe one more segment, he says, when a little bit more is done. Oh, for these, what I use back here, that's some Martin Wellberg mat. These are mats. I prefer to use mats. I don't really like ground goop and static grass as much as, anyway, just personal preference. But for this here, I kind of liked it because it kind of has that, you know, that dark soil look with some real low scruffy grass on it. And they are by, see if I can get this to show up. Okay, that's not going to show up at all. But it's Lars Optholf. Yeah, I know. Let me see if I can make this visible. Is that visible? I'm trying to look through the viewfinder and okay, found these on eBay, and I'm a glutton for punishment, so I just had to try them. So Lars Optholf scenery. They're similar to the Martin Wellberg mats in that they have a paper backing, so they're sort of flat. No, they're actually very flat. Here's one of them here that I was using. So you can see it has a paper back that's flat, so it's really good for simulating that low earth, scruffy, grassy type area. You know, I like the colors, kind of a dark, you know, cinderish type color, and this is a railroad area, so I thought it would make sense. So I like that. Here's a hole mat. They're not real big, but these weren't terribly expensive. But you can see kind of what it looks like, and it looks good when you get it down. You know, again, if you want to get in there and play around with looking like, ooh, I'm impressive. I like them. Easy to use. Well, then I'll keep the scrap pieces because these are usable too around the layouts. Alright, so enough on that, but just wanted to show that. So me and the child here, where he goes I go, we'll get back to work. Alright, one more short segment. He says probably be 14 more long segments, but alright, more to come. Okay, it's really time to wrap up. Even the bonus round has to get wrapped up sometime. So one thing I did, I had this sign for the All Aboard Diner, and I liked it. You know, I made it. It's a representation of what's actually there. Added LEDs and everything like that. And of course, it's not there in the mid-1950s. I was actually going to cut it out and say, well, it just doesn't belong there. But actually, it was just sitting in there loose. So I was able to save it. I just pulled it up. I even have the wires and everything. Yay! So I can save that if I ever want to change my era, which I better not do, but oh Lord, who knows. And then what I did was I simply made a little, I don't know, flowery type thing. Same size, set it right in there. And that's removable, so I can pop it in and out, and if I ever want to add the sign back, I can do that. So hooray for me. Okay, so I'm glad I could save that, because I did scratch build that little thing, and what the heck. Alright, over here I added some drains and a manhole cover in the street just for fun. And then the other thing, I finished up this area back here, and I gotta stop fiddling because I just keep mucking around, and this is not even going to be really all that noticeable or noticed by people, but you can see I got some details around the shed. And that little shed back there, added some bushes along the roadside there, added some fallen leaves in and about. I did come in, probably harder to see unless I drone it here, with some European Earth chalk from MIG, ammo of MIG, just to kind of highlight the, kind of where the gravel there would get worn down, where vehicles come in. Did some details here on the back side of the shed, just to show there's something going on there. Added a couple weeds, one guy growing there, standing proud. Those are actually just bits that came off of the super trees that I made. I think, yeah, they look pretty good as little, twiggy type sapling things. So they're in there. I added the target on this side. I'm not going to add it on the other side because I'm still working, and knowing me, I'll break it. So I'm going to call this done. You can always fiddle in. It's not like I can't reach it when it's when I move ahead, but I got some rails in there. I had some Reading Railroad rail support, so I figured, what the heck. I'll put them in there. Some other pieces of rail laying around. I might paint up some tie plates. Throw another pile of tie plates in there. Maybe some ties. Add that, that kind of stuff. That can all be added, though. That's not nothing I can't do. But the major stuff I wanted to get done before I move forward, and that's what I got to do now. So that's the next phase here, is moving forward. I do have the other target. You can see it's laying there because I know if I put that in, I'm going to hit it because I still have to work and, scenery and whatever I'm going to do on this whole area. So, all right, so that wraps up the bonus round. What's going to come next is I'm going to add this piece 1x4. I have it just laying underneath the other side of the layout under Eugene Yard. I have a piece of 3/4 plywood there that'll come out right here. Almost, not all the way to the edge, but I can fix that. That's not a big deal. And then I can put the new building, the Yokel electric manufacturing, in here, do what I'm going to do, and start working again. This area off here. This road's going to come out, tie into this road. Now I can add some more buildings or the hotel or whatever else I'm going to do over here. So a lot to do, but I want to get that moving. So this has got to be, at some point you just got to stop and say, all right, I think that scene looks good for as far away as you're going to be, which is going to be, if I hold the camera up to, this is kind of roughly how you're going to see it from the aisle. I think it's detailed enough. Of course, I can always come back in and do some more. So, all right, enough babbling in the bonus. Let's wrap this video up, spank it, and get it posted. So more to come as we progress forward here in Lake City.